So what's going on, Juan?
What's up, Nick?
Man,
Renegade?
What's happening? What's happening, bro? So, man, got the opportunity to sit down and talk to you, man. Really dig into some things that Juan Mo is about. And we were talking off camera, just talking about the whole self-made thing, just how it's really the pinnacle of what people are saying that they're supposed to be today. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm self-made. So kind of tell me what self-made means to you.
Honestly, it's crazy you say that. I don't even feel like I'm self-made. To be honest, I'm sitting here talking to you. Me and you have stuff coming up in the works.
Yeah.
Couldn't do this interview without the man behind the camera. Wouldn't be here without the person that was helping me do this. So like my team, so self-made. I mean, I don't really. People say it, but I don't really know what it means. And my point, like it's always somebody helping you or pouring into you, whether it's spiritually, financially, health, whatever it is. So self-made, I don't really feel like it's self-made. I feel like it takes a team to get where you are, even if they don't know they're actually on the team.
Yeah.
They still some way inspire and help you get to the next place that you're going in life. So
yeah, I think to your point, I think it's definitely important to have a team. And for you, you have what is CPG, right?
Yeah. CPG stands for Change, Progression, Growth, and first book is titled Change is Progression, Progression is Growth. But it's really just everyone, from More Life Enterprises, which is every entity, the Live Life Headphones, Future CEO, nonprofit, and then my brand, Juan Moore. So just everybody together, just getting to understand we're a family, not a team, but a family. So yeah, CPG family. I got it on my chest right now.
Now hold on. So before we jump too far into it, I think we kind of got ahead of ourselves. Kind of tell me who Juan is. Like tell me where Juan came from. Like where you from. Like give me something that I don't know about Juan.
From Augusta, Georgia. Went to T.W. Joseph High School. Then I went to college. Went to Albany State my first year. A lot of people do and don't know that.
Yeah.
I went to Albany State my first year, transferred, went to Georgia Southern, got to Georgia Southern, pledged Kappa Alpha Psi, Omicron Phi chapter. Then went and got my master's in Savannah State University. That's when stuff kind of like the phase of what people see now, via Instagram and social media and whatnot, where everybody kind of see now is what that kind of happened in Savannah State. Once I got involved with community work, with Project Inspire, and then now we here now. So I mean, me, small town, big city dreams. I still get fascinated by the city lights in Atlanta.
Yeah. Of course, we all do.
So that's pretty much me. And now anything with positivity is what I'm trying to do. So working with the kids, speaking, the books. Event planning with the headphones, like the entertainment portion. That's just what I'm about. So that's me in a nutshell.
Yeah. So for what some people don't know is that Augusta is not it's not close to Atlanta.
Oh,
at all.
It's 2 hours. So anything I'm like from traveling, anything outside of 3 hours can kind of get you, 3 to 4 hours can get you outside of Georgia.
Yeah.
Like it can get you to South Carolina, it can get you to Florida, it can get you to Alabama. So it's 2 hours out of 20. So Augusta, man, it's different. Like especially when I was growing up, I had a lot of friends. And I was just speaking like the area where I was raised. I had a lot of friends, didn't make it out of high school, jail, dead, or just starting adulthood. When I say adulthood, I mean having babies or just other responsibilities real early. Mm-hmm. I was privileged enough to not have to deal with any of those things. Like none of those situations happened to me. Like I didn't have to get in no trouble, do no time. I made it out of school, was able to go to college. I don't have any kids. So, Augusta, you ever hear, I love music. So you ever J.cole talk about Fayetteville?
Yeah.
like small town mentality. Like it's kind of what goes on sometimes in the space where I'm from. So yeah, it's a privilege to make it out of there right now and be able to go back and do stuff there.
Yeah, so I mean, a lot of kids nowadays, have a struggle with just life in general, just because they come from a household where it's either broken or they don't have a mom, they don't have a pops to really guide them in a direction. So kind of what was your parents' stance just in where you guided your life, or what role did they play?
Oh man, so I actually had both of my parents, but they wasn't together though. Mm-hmm. But my dad's like heavily involved in my life, like actually named after my dad. But I would say the side of what people see now with the passion and the community involvement and the giving back, that comes from my dad. My dad, when I was 1 or 2, I can't really remember the age, like took me to the Million Man March. Then we went again. Yeah. On the 20-year anniversary. So I get all that side from him. And then like my mom's side, I think I get the music side from him too. Then like my mom's side, I think I kind of get the people involvement, like being relaxed or being able to evolve to any situation and climate. So my parents, they played a big role in my life. Yeah, I love both of them too. Shout out, I was gonna tell my mom and my daddy. Shout out to them.
Shout out mom, shout out pops. Yeah, man.
Diane and Juan.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
man. So kind of fast forwarding back to what we were talking about earlier. Just as far as CPG and Live Life and Project Inspire and things of that nature. Like, how did you really decide that this is what I wanted to do? Like, when was that breaking? When was that one moment you were like, hey, you know what? This is what I'm gonna do for the rest of my life.
Oh man, so what happened was I used to be, when I got to Georgia Southern, my fraternity brother Omari, like we had an entertainment group called Lawless Entertainment, and we used to throw parties or whatnot. Mm-hmm. So when I graduated, Savannah and Statesboro is only 40 minutes away, so it was easy just to travel back. But then one day I just woke up and I was like, yeah, it's not what I was supposed to be doing. I was like, and I called my other fraternity brother, but I call him my brother's. His name, Carl Scott, and we talked on the phone for like 4 hours.
Yeah,
like literally 4 hours. I don't know what he did that day to clear his schedule, but just talking about like what I want to do, giving back, and how people will perceive it. Like to see you go from this space to this space, realizing you got something that you want to give to the world, give the people. And he was just like, do it. Like he's always telling me anything I want to do, just do it. And from there, it was like, I started doing, this is like 2014. You know how people was like, well, the people still doing now, but like they have like the quotes or the words on Instagram.
Yeah.
And I just used to start posting them. And for a minute, people were like, shut up. Like, shut up. Like, I'll post them every day. Yeah. I'll post them every day. And then, but he told me once you get past 23 days, it becomes a habit. And that's because Michael Jordan is his favorite player. So I got past 23 days and it really did become a habit, like posting it every day. Mm-hmm. Then next thing you know, people started DMing like, hey, like what you're saying is really helped me, and I didn't know you had that in you. And then the volunteering with Project Inspire with the kids, it's like every week I'm with a kid, then I'm getting my master's in clinical social work. So I was interning at a school, so it's kind of like being in that space. That's why I say like when I got to Savannah, like being in that space and having to be on that every day and being around those group of individuals, it kind of birthed it. Like it's stuff my goddad been preaching to me all my life. Like I told you, like my dad took me to Million Man March, Gina 6.
Wow.
Like I've been protesting since I was 13, 12, probably even earlier than that. But that's just what I remember. So all that stuff been in me, but it's just like, it's like your dad, like you supposed to do this.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
when you like from a can of paint, some people you don't know from a can of paint, and you didn't do it for yourself. at an age where it clicked. So it just clicked. So I was like, okay, this is what I want to do. This is what I'm supposed to do. My goddad told me, Reverend Reed, he was, told me how to pray to God about it. Pray to God, and just kind of like he just keeps aligning me with people, and that purpose, like putting me in line with that to fulfill that purpose.
Yeah, I think we all have those instances and those times in our life where we have those influences like your dad, your pops. For me, it's my pops too. And but what's one thing that's happened in your life? Like, what's that one thing that people don't know about Juan?
One thing people don't know. I can go to something recent. I feel like if you've been to a couple of speeches or like an interview, you've like heard about me graduating college and being homeless. You've heard about numerous things, but I'll go to something recent right now. One thing people don't know, right? It's going on right now. Like I'm battling being an adult. You kind of get into a space where you appreciate your family more.
Mm-hmm.
So over the years, like since I was in college, my granddaddy, like his health has been declining. Like we went from a space where I can go to the house and we just in this computer room. Like my granddaddy made all my laptops and computers, and it's like I come home one time during college, and it's like now he's talking with a voice box.
Wow.
And it's like, dang. It's like, okay, then I finally kind of get used to that. Like, it's kind of, I was at a point where I really don't want to ask him too many questions because he's struggling to talk.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's at a point, like, we just celebrated his 85th birthday last weekend. And everybody came, like all his kids, everybody came. But it's like now, it's like, I'm talking to him, he's like, yeah, I'm going blind. And I'm like, dang.
Wow.
And like this something like now that I'm older, like you get to a point where you appreciate, like both my granddads, like my other granddad, he died, like he's in my first book, but like he died when I was like 19, 20. And like I didn't get a chance to like really show and do stuff with him. Cause you're a kid, you just thinking people gonna be there. So it's now like my granddad going through this now, it's kind of put me in a different space to want to do more for everybody in my family. Like, so when I hear stuff like, oh, your uncle or your cousin, X, Y, and Z, it's like
mm-hmm.
So I made it like a mission to go home at least once a month this year. Like at first, like, I wouldn't go home for like 4 or 5 months.
Wow.
Like I can eat, and I'm right there in Savannah and Statesboro. That's only 2 hours, but it's just like, why go home? Because remember I told you about everybody dying and everything like that.
Yeah.
I was kind of trying to escape being around that because, friends and hearing that negative news. But it's like, dang, like you neglecting like family. So like me, that's what's going on like right now. Like some they don't know. Like, so like people may be on my social media and see like I'm back in the guts. It's like, that's why, because I'm just trying to, get as much as I can, because I don't really know when somebody last is. So
yeah, I think that's real, man. I lost my grandmother probably about 2 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, and that's probably one of the biggest things that I want to say I regret, but I definitely wish I spent more time with her. Through college and through career and everything else got kind of crazy, got kind of busy. And then, talk to her on the phone, but you never really get, put your hands on her, hug her neck, that kind of thing, bro. Cherish those times, bro. I really understand that. So, with him being such an influence, like how does that play into you? Of course, you quit your job, a year ago, right?
Yeah, yesterday made a year.
Yeah. So you quit your job.
I ain't going back.
So you quit your job a year ago. Like, the corporate, the 9 to 5, the staple, I get a degree and I go to work. Like, that's what I do. So how does your life and those decisions and the things you're going through play into the fact of you quitting your job and doing what you do today?
Faith becomes the biggest part in this, right?
Yeah.
In the quitting, like betting all on you, putting it all on yourself. Like, you know, betting, like, I'm going to bet on myself that I can do X, Y, and Z. And then with me, like, adding these components, like adding these team members. Because at first, you know, it was just, when I was doing it on the side, it was just like me, like, okay, I'll go hire this person to do X, Y, and Z, but it's just me. Then it's like telling people, hey, I got this vision, and like really casting the vision, and then people like seeing it and wanted to help and be a part. So now it's, because when you, like, it's not, think about it, a lot of people in this space, we're all moving in this space of being entrepreneurs or whatnot. But I want everybody to know, like, you don't want to be an entrepreneur and then become an employee in your business. I want to create a sustainable business, businesses, like, they run. If I get sick today, I want it to be able to run without me. Like, if I get sick today, I want someone, like, if we got the nonprofit, I wanted to keep going. I want the kids still get impacted.
Pick up and still go.
Yeah, I don't want, oh, Mr. Moore is sick, the program won't come back next year.
Yeah.
It's like, why? It's like, I mean, Mr. Moore is sick, I understand that, but this program is helping hundreds of kids. Like, so the quitting it, the faith is the biggest thing, man, because I go through more struggles than people can imagine. Like, who would have said I would have quit in last day, June 1st, and then July, I get in a car wreck and my car get towed.
Wow.
And that could have easily, I got hit on my side at the front, like, so I could have easily got hit, like, and been damaged.
Yeah.
Like, you know, when you quit your corporate job, your health insurance, your dental
insurance. Quits, bro.
Oh,
it's over. You forget it.
So, like, you trying to figure all
this. That day one.
Man, and I was only in the workforce for 2 years. So, all this, like, adulting, like, I'm fairly new to it, because I've been in school till I was 23, and I'm 26. So I really only had 3 years of this adulting, like,
to the world.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's faith, man. Faith, like, with the whole thing with the finances, like, people. I can post all this stuff or whatnot, but I feel like it's still good sometimes to let people know, like, hey, you are gonna go through some struggles. Cause people, if I just post all the good, they'll be like, I want to do that too. Right. And then when they get out there and they like,
oh, they ain't real, bro. This world will eat you.
Like, that's only faith. Like, so it faith, man. I know I said faith like 8 times, but that just keep coming to my head. Just especially for me, believing in God and praying, and you just gotta. It's different than your words. Like, I've been learning like these last couple months, like this last quarter. I've been getting like real deep into like just getting better with my faith with God. And it's deeper than just saying it. Like, really believing it wholeheartedly. Like you said, you know, faith of a mustard seed. I got bigger faith in that. Yeah. So I know everything is going to come to fruition.
Yeah, so, you know, you of course, you mentioned social media a couple different times, right? You talked about how, you know, you put stuff out to, of course, motivate people, making sure that, you know, everybody has what they need, you know, from a motivational standpoint, so they can see it from the good, the bad, the ugly. It's like, so what's your viewpoint on where social media is and how it plays into the marketplace and just, I mean, marketing and all that?
Oh man, I tell the kids all the time, just I'm at this space in life, with social media, just brand yourself. I mean, you can put a picture up there just to say you got a fresh outfit, but if you always got fresh outfits, you might as well just go ahead and flip that to the side and just, well, I'll come style you for $100.
Man, they just trying to get like you want, that's all, man.
I don't got no sauce. I got flayed. But I think the social media, like, that's really like when we was talking about earlier when I was talking to Carl and then posting all that stuff. That's when it switched. So for 4 years, my social media has all been about branding myself, and even to the point of trying to be transparent. Yeah. You know, so it's like in this space of when you posting all this positivity, like letting people know, like, oh yeah, I do have I'm still human. I'm just not always happy.
Flaws, yeah.
Like I'm not just always happy. I don't got it all together. Like I just told you, I just went from partying to doing this. So I'm still working out them kinks too. Like I'm still so. I feel like your social media it's an online resume. We can put your resumes online, but this is like a visual resume, like, and it's your opportunity to tell a story. So why not? I mean, it's out there. Cause once you put it out there, it's gonna be there forever. It's so many what people don't realize. They think like they delete a picture or delete a tweet, it's gone. It's gone from that platform. Yeah. But it's so many third-party platforms bridged into that one platform you're posting on. It's gonna always be there. Mm-hmm. Like you may post on Twitter, but Tweetcaster got it forever because it's not gonna delete off there. Or whatever Zumba or whatever still got that picture because you posted on the internet. So I just feel like people with the social media should try to paint a whatever picture you want for yourself. So whatever picture you want for yourself that you're confident in living in, whatever skin you're confident in living in, put it on social media.
Yeah, and I think you used a really good, a good term there, like, platform. A lot of people don't understand that that's your platform, that's your local platform for you to really show people who you are, especially from a branding perspective, right? So, I mean, for you, like, what is it that what does Juan do? Like, tell me, if I was to say, okay, this is Juan Moore, this is Juan C. Moore, and he does this, what does Juan do?
You know what? I went to, my goddaughter was born yesterday. And
congrats, man.
Appreciate it. And her grandma asked that. Like the mom was like trying to explain to she's like, everything is going good, I seen blah blah blah. She was trying to explain it to the mom, and the mom asked that. So I would say if you can wrap up the speaking, being a public speaker, the books, being an author, the nonprofit program, working with the kids, and doing the events with the headphones, the silent parties. I would say Juan is a guy who's just trying to cultivate positive mindsets. I'm trying to get people to understand that whatever it is you got going on, it starts in the mind. Right. And if you have a positive mind, everything else comes out of that. So let's just say if you was like, I want to, summer here. So say if you was like, summer here, I want to do this right here by this trip or this birthday. It starts in the mind before it gets to your muscles. Period. Like before you start this diet, before you want to start trying to eat, you got to tell yourself like, this is what I'm gonna eat. This is how I'm gonna eat it. This is how I'm gonna do it. This is the time. But it's a mindset you gotta establish. We can YouTube. I can get on there YouTube right now and tell you all of these things. Like it is what you're supposed to eat. But if you don't have this positive mindset, like I can eat it, I will eat it. It's gonna happen. It's not gonna work.
What's towards the donut versus the asparagus, bro?
So yeah, man. I'm just trying to cultivate positive mindsets, encourage people to be, to embrace their individuality, to be themselves, to be comfortable in their skin. Because Juan, like let's just say for example, when I'm talking about the public speaking, like I'm not gonna be your Eric Thomas, your Inky Johnson, your Tony Robbins. I know I'm country. Sometimes people don't understand some things I say. But if I follow it up with a dance move, they get that.
Yeah.
But that's me though.
It's universal language.
Yeah, you get what I'm saying? That's me. Like I put the music on, it gets to people. So that's stuff that I do. I'm comfortable in my skin, and me being the individual who I am. Like this is what fits me. When I go speak, I'm not yelling. I'm not able to do that. I don't have to do that to get my message across. I do something totally different. And just getting people to be creative, like whatever they do. Like all these things I'm saying, I add in when I speak or the book. I did my whole first book was it looked like an iMessage. I had to get people off the first page. Yeah. So being creative, so getting people to understand that to have a positive mindset, to be themselves, their individuality, and to be creative. PIC, like a picture, changing the picture.
Yeah.
Pick. Yeah.
Like, so PIC, what does it stand for?
Pick.
Just pick?
Positivity, individuality, and creativity. It kind of just went off in my head when we was just talking about it. So positivity, individuality, creativity. We heard it right here with DJ Renegade.
There it is.
We changing the picture.
There it is. So you mentioned the Eric Thomas, the ETs. You know, we see that all the time. You know, what makes you different than any other mindset coach? Like, what if I paint a picture of Juan and I put you side by side with I guess your competition, right?
Mm-hmm.
What stands out? What makes you different?
I think what makes me different with that, it would have to be the embracing the individuality. Like I said, I went and got my master's in social work, so I have the research base, then you have to apply to practice. A lot of times people, he's 26, what he really know?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm more so like 62. I feel like switch the numbers around.
Young man, old soul.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure like I can go party with your moms and your dad, and it'd be like, I like this guy.
And fit right on in.
So with me, what makes me different is embracing and being comfortable with who I am, not being shook by what somebody else is doing.
Yeah.
I mean, I watch. Like, I have those people that we name podcasts, and I listen to it. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna be me. So that what makes me different. And I think the biggest thing is people, when they see me, they hear me, they interact with me, the being genuine. That takes you a long way.
Transparency.
Because trying to be like those people, that's a job.
Yep.
That's a whole nother job.
Mm-hmm.
I'm genuine, I'm being transparent. That makes people feel more attached. Like, hey, I can relate to that. The relatability.
Right.
And not saying, other people you can't relate to them, but it's some people that can specifically relate coming from a country town, small town like Augusta. Some people that can specifically relate going to college and being homeless. Some people that can specifically relate to their parents or their family members, X, Y, and Z. Some people that can specifically relate to working with the kids. Those educators out there. Like, I can relate to these people, all these type of people. So I think that what what sets me apart from everybody, creating that relatability out the gate. You just get it out the gate. There's no peeling back layers to see what's going on. It's like, boom, that's him.
So outside of course, the people that we discussed earlier, like who do you look up to? Like who are your mentors?
Man, Master P.
Come on, man.
Master P. Like, y'all don't understand. My sister used to pick me up in the bus lane when I was in elementary school. She had a little Subaru and had like 2 10s in the back. Like Subarus like this big, literally. And it had like 2 10s in the back. We were bumping Master P. Like, who went to the NBA, was a rapper on his own record label, filmed his own movies, became an actor. Like Master P, man. And then, after Master P is Diddy.
Yeah.
A lot of people know I like Diddy, but a lot of people, unless you got my book and you see he's in the I put him in the introduction, where he was telling people about their peace, and their glory. The glory is within you, from the Solange album. Like I said, I like music.
Yeah.
But yeah, Master P, Diddy. I'm just saying, like, people outside of, you feel like I already talked about my dad, my goddad, granddad, Master P and Diddy. And yeah, that's what I'm gonna go with. I like music. My favorite artist, but we got Sci-Hi, we got there's some people out. We got Solange, we got Janelle Monáe, Jadenia, we have Earth, Wind & Fire going on in the car. Charlie Wilson, my middle name Charlie. We got Charlie Wilson.
Juan Charlie Moore.
We got
y'all heard it here first, man.
Yeah. That's what we got.
Start calling him Charles.
I like, what I like?
What you got?
That people don't know. Well, I'm not gonna say that, but I like Nick Grant.
Oh,
that guy, he's like a guy like, I really like all the people around my age, like when I was like saying Migos and like Nick Grant, like they're around my age and they're doing something different. Like
Nick Grant's good. He's
like
dope.
Joey Badass, Dom Kennedy, like all these people like that. You know, I grew up on like Bootsy and Yo Gotti.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So let's paint a picture real quick, right?
Uh-huh.
So Juan is sitting down, he's preparing to write a book, and
Music playing.
And music's playing. Like we got a room, we got, we'll say candles lit, whatever it is that you do to get into your space, right? What is it like? What's that one album, that one artist that has to be playing at that moment?
I'm gonna have to go with J.Cole because that For Your Eyes Only inspired the second book. First book came out. Second book came out. Second book was written in 5 months after the first book, but it started like it was finished after the first book released. So the first book released on January 1st, but we all know that J.Cole, January 1st, 2017, but we know that J.Cole album For Your Eyes Only came out around that same time.
Right.
So as soon as I heard the album, it inspired the writing of the second book, The 25 Letters to My Unborn Child. And like that, I don't know. Like I used to like use him. I used to use the Friday Night Lights when I was doing those long 20-page papers in school. I used to play that. So yeah, it's the right. I never had that question. I never thought about it. But even though my favorite artist, the J.Cole gets played to write. It's crazy.
So you know you use music, of course, to inspire your books and your, you know, I guess, I mean, pretty much how you move and shake. I mean, I think it's a universal language, right? Music transcends upon whether you live in China, whether you live in America, South America. So you also have a company called Live Life Headphones, right? So, you know, these guys right here. So tell me a little bit about Live Life. Like, what is Live Life about?
So this is actually with my fraternity brother who I was telling you about, Omari. Like, he's like my brother though. When I was telling you we used to throw parties, but when we actually went to a few of these silent headphone parties, and then we wanted to throw one ourselves. We threw one ourselves, and we was like, hey, let's get into doing these ourselves. And if people have known how much money has been lost behind it, and struggles, and traveling, how many miles been on cars, but that's what really led to it. Like, it wasn't the music or anything, it was just me and him talking it. Like, you know, I pretty much, I trust him a lot. He's helped me in numerous ways. So that it just kind of made sense. Like, hey, let's do X, Y, and Z, and then it led to the point now he quit. Like, you know, I quit my job first, not even behind this, and then a year later, like, he just quit his job 2 weeks ago.
Wow.
So, you know, it's like, okay, I'm pretty sure I had some influence, even though he may not say. He probably he posts my stuff a lot though. He posts my stuff a lot though, so he probably would say it. But yeah, that's what led to that. Just wanting to bet on ourselves and something new, man. Like, it has, so like they're color coded, like how you just had a blue one, but you could switch the colors. And it's 3 different DJs playing at one time. So it's 3 different vibes going on, whatever the DJ is deciding to play. And it's noise cancellation, so you can't hear nothing. So we just telling people, you know, just get out there and live their life.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not just behind a party. Like, we do this with kids, silent, you know, skate parties, jobs. Yeah. I use this to speak, actually, like to get the message. Get people on different stations and hear different things to understand that music is a feeling. So with the music, it creates a feeling and creates an emotion. It takes you back to, like, let's just say, for example, if I said, party on, it is just September. Where you at? You don't know a song?
Oh, I know the song.
My voice is cracking.
I'm
not a singer. I'm not a singer though. But where you went though with that?
Oh, that's Earth, Wind & Fire.
But where did you go? Where did you go?
Oh man, that's a happy place, bro.
Happy place.
That's
you heard September by Earth, Wind & Fire and turn to a happy place. That feeling, like the music creates that feeling. So that's what we just want to give people a chance to, you know, live out their words. Like, don't worry about wherever they at. It's kind of like singing in the shower when people put these heads on. Like,
absolutely.
They don't care who around. Yeah, like they really don't care who around. They
Yeah.
just get to singing and dancing. Yeah, that's what that's about.
So we got the author, we got the entrepreneur,
Yeah.
we got the mindset coach, and then we got the speaker as well. So we got, we have Kings. Like, tell me what, you have an organization called Kings. So tell me what Kings means and what it stands for.
So it was actually called Kings, which stands for Knowledge, Influencing the Next Generation Success. Then we switched it to a Future CEO.
Okay.
So creating everlasting opportunities. So that's what I'm doing full time. Trying to be the best CEO as possible and getting into other entities with friends and family members or whatnot. So that nonprofit, it's a character development program for boys, for middle school boys as of now. Like, we want to expand to girls. But middle school boys, we're trying to get them to understand and figure out what their passions are. And then from their passions, we expose them to opportunities, collegiate studies, careers, all of those tailor around their passion. So if you told me, right now, if you're a middle school person and you're like, hey, I want to be a DJ, I'm going to bring you to something like this. I'm going to get a musician to come in and speak to you. I'm going to take you to a studio. I'm going to show you how to get into college, like what you need to be majoring in if you decide to go to college. Like, all those issues, like, warped around what these kids want to do. Mm-hmm. And even though it's a group setting, like it's always at least 5 of them that want to do the same thing, and we just constantly exposing them to that after we figure out their passions, their purpose, their strengths and weaknesses. These things, like, you're not thinking about when you're 11, 12, 13, 14. I know I did.
Yeah.
So we get them to figure that out and bring it out of them. Now they know it. Now they're consciously aware of it. So now they're thinking about it. So now that they're thinking about it, we expose you to it. Now you see that it's possible. And we show you that it's people that look like you that's actually doing this. So now you believe in yourself. Like, you thinking about it, it's one thing to have a thought, but then to see it, that exposure goes a long way. So now the kids are, like, inspired to keep pursuing that. Long after Mr. Moore is long gone or whatever, like, you remember this, and you're going to keep pursuing that goal, that dream, because somebody showed you it was possible to obtain it.
Yeah. No,
so, like, I would say bridging the gap between life and school.
That's important.
Because school, they can only do so much with the standards, the objectives, all of that. Then we come in with the life portion and being able to give you those things, financial literacy. You learn about the careers, the collegiate studies, things that school can't really focus on like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's important, especially in today's, generation. You got a lot of outside influences. I mean, music influences probably more than anything right about now. And whatever they watch on TV, between reality TV, and whatever.
Kids like YouTube a lot.
Oh man, YouTube is crazy.
I'm like,
man, they don't even watch cable no more.
They watch YouTube.
They watch YouTube.
Like, it's YouTube that made money. YouTube TV now.
So I mean,
we should have thought of that.
Of course, come on, man.
We should have thought of that
easily. Nah, man. So, dude, billionaires, bro.
Yeah,
billionaires, quickly. So, if you could leave the people with 3 things that you want them to take away from who Juan is and what you do and how you impact the community and how you're out here just setting an example for people, what's those 3 things that you could say that this is my staple, this is what I want to leave for people?
I would kind of say we touched on it earlier, but outside of the positivity, the individuality and creativity, I would tell people, 1, to protect their peace. Because so many, like you said earlier, so many outside things going on in the world that cause you to get distracted.
Yeah.
It like becomes a barrier on your shoulders, your life. So learning to protect your peace, and that starts with, of course, your mind. So when I say protect your peace, negative people, negative situations, environments, negative images, thoughts, all of that.
Right.
That's protecting your peace. The second thing, I would say to spread love. Like, positivity is love, but you gotta spread it. And it's simple. We out Like don't mug somebody when you're out. Like don't just stare. You ever seen somebody just walk past you and they just stare at you?
Just look at you. Yeah, absolutely.
You stare. Hey, how you doing today? And I'm doing all right. How are you? Oh, I'm doing good. I'm like you ever been out? You see somebody like, I like them shoes. Oh man, I appreciate it. Like that can go a long way.
Mm-hmm.
So like that little staple right there, just spreading that love to others, can help get them over probably a hump. You know, some people live off their languages are affirmations. So to be affirmed when they go out there, it make it change their day. And outside of spreading the love, the third thing I would say, I would say, I touched on it a little bit, but I'm going to phrase it differently. I would say, what's for you is for you. And what's for somebody else is for somebody else. Don't conform to the world. Make the world conform to you. Oftentimes, you know, we're always like, oh, let me go do this and be like this. For some people who probably don't even care, like they accept you the way you are, or even if they don't, that's cool. But make the world conform to you, because then life will be easier. I feel like it's less stress when you're out doing things to please yourself, you know, and please. For me, I believe in God, so please God, whatever it is. I think it's easier. So don't conform to others and to the world. Make them conform to you and want to be around you and to learn from you and grow from you. So yeah, those are the three things I would say.
That's dope. So, you know, we got, once again, so we got the author, the entrepreneur, the motivational speaker, the mindset coach. Man, thank you for being a positive influence to people out here, man. Where can people find you, like on social media?
Instagram at Juan, Juan, the letter C, Moore. So Juan C. Moore. Website www.juancmoore.com. The nonprofit is www.thefutureceo.org. YouTube Juan C. Moore, Twitter Juan C. Moore with an underscore. Mm-hmm. But yeah, everything Juan C. Moore, basically trying to keep it consistent and congruent. So that's a tip for anybody out there that's doing anything branding or trying to get yourself out there. Just keep it congruent. Don't be like, over here I'm at Hot Lava 101, then over here I'm on Jumanji 2020.
Yeah.
Like, it don't make no sense.
Nah.
So yeah, just keep it congruent, consistent.
Consistency is key.
Yep. Consistency.
Absolutely, man. Once again, thank you for your time.
I appreciate it, Renegade, man. Well, I need to be on the next mixtape, man. I wasn't on this mixtape.
Oh, you got it. Say no more. It's already done.
About that, man.
It's already done. Appreciate you, bro.